Good afternoon. Today, as I am trying to transition into, I guess, starting to make card game content, I am doing a deck profile for the deck that I currently am running, which is also the only deck I own. It is Prison, or Seraph Purelight for Cardfight Vanguard. So just to kind of test out the environment and everything where I'm at currently, it is kind of rainy, trying to get this done while I'm on lunch. All sorts of other things, but just to kind of get a feel for this new thing I'm doing. So to start, I will start with the ride line, starting with the grade 0. I just run regular Ruby Red. I don't run anything too crazy. It's not like the deck really needs it. Like needs anything else, and it doesn't get any extra benefits. And then obviously I'm running kind of blue for the set order. I'm also running Side Pink, obviously, and Seraph Snow as well. Just your standard ride line for Prison. Now, going into the grade 1s, I do run 4 of the Violet Dragon PG. I don't have the Elementaria order card for the PG. So, I do kind of be spending to get my stuff going. And then, obviously, one of the Prison as well. Right, kind of more or less is mandatory to run that in this deck. Then I am currently running 2 copies of Life of Royer. I will be getting 2 more later in the future, but for right now, this is pretty much the best I could do in terms of cost and everything. I am running 4 Security Upgrader, which is your grade 4 Searcher, and then 4 Amuna for the extra draw power and the protection for the boost in the back row as well. Alrighty, now we go into the grade 2s. Actually, I am running 1 of each of the Blitz order and the normal order for Prison. The Blitz order is extra guard power, and by late into the game, you have enough cards in the Prison anyway, that it basically will turn the Vanguard into a negative number. It's pretty funny. And then, just to kind of rip the extra cards from hand, if I can, I run the 24-hour coverage as well. Yeah, it's a Soul Blast. It's not super expensive in the grand scheme of things for this deck, but there's not really a whole lot of things you can use to Soul Charge, well, at least in my build anyway. So, on one hand, it's good to take cards from my opponent's hand and put them into Prison, and then on the other hand, I can use it to ride up if necessary. I am running 3 of the new support though, Welt Kipple, because on place she forces either 1 card from hand or 2 from the drop. So, most people want to keep the stuff in their hand, so they'll just let you have the drop depending on the deck. Some decks will require the stuff in their drop, so they'll be more than likely to give something from hand. But that's nice. She also gets an extra 5k, pretty decent attacker, especially around grade 2 turns. And I am running 3 of the Captured Cherino. Now this card I think is funny, because the way that it works is on place, it doesn't get anything, but in the middle of battle, if you are on grade 3, if you have a grade 3 or higher Vanguard out, you Soul Blast 1, it'll get an extra 5, and then it chooses a card from the drop to put into Prison. Then at the end of battle, I can pick a unit in the Prison. Well, I retire Macherino, pick a unit from Prison, and I get to put that at the bottom of the deck and draw a card. So it's really funny because, sometimes people will be like, well, this deck doesn't have to use that many resources in the middle of its turn, so sure, you can have this, I'll just counter blast it out later. But I'm like, nah, you can put that at the bottom of the deck though, so you can not have it right now. I think it's pretty neat, and I get to draw from it. I am running 2 of the Corner Citrus. This card is painful to get, but is worth the money. I would like to run more than 2, but right now, this is the best I can do. Granted, she's basically your restander during grade 3 or higher Vanguard turns, and she gets an extra 10k power on top of that. And then the last grade 2 I am running is one of the Derelict Violet. this is basically a perfect guard on like grade 2s and stuff. So this helps against like decks that have like really ridiculous grade 2s, kind of like Corner Citrus, Yuga Mashad for like Bob Sagara and other things like that. Is what we're running that for. Now we get to the grade 3s, and I'm not running very many of these, but I have 2 copies of Taser Lage. This is just like almost like a just in case, because some decks will just summon from drop, they pull from prison, anything along those lines. I can, as soon as something comes out, and if it's not placed from hand, I can rest it. So no attacks, no boosts for that turn. Now if they call over it with something else, then it is what it is. But like, you know, that initial portion is like taken care of, and I think that's great. And then the last grade 3, I am running 3 copies of Penetrate Aquas, and she kind of feels like a win condition at this point, at least for me, because she's 1800 because she gets +5 if there's 2 cards in prison. She also gains a 10k shield, and these are permanent, so these will last as long as there's at least 2 cards in the prison for the rest of the fight. And when your opponent has to guard, when your opponent chooses to guard, they have to guard with 2 or more cards. I think the Elementaria order kind of like mitigates that rule, but everything else, right, regarding that, like if they're trying to guard with triggers or perfect guards or anything like that, they have to spend 2 or more from hand. So it's really a really good card to have, especially after you get like all of those boosts from the grade 4. I'm only running 3 copies of Seraph Purelight right now. I think 3 is fine, especially with Security Upgrader. The worst that could happen is you see 1 win the damage. But if you keep 1 in the deck, 1 in drop, 1 in soul, or in hand, it's fine everywhere else because of Security Upgrader, right? Since Security Upgrader will let you ride grade 3 or higher superior ride a grade 3 or higher Seraph from hand, deck, or drop. You also will need to Soul Blast a card with Seraph in its name to use Seraph Purelight's effect. So if there's 1 in the soul, that's okay. I can Soul Blast that with her effect, or, you know, what have you, right? Basically, like, it'll essentially loop itself if I see Security Upgrade 4 times in a row, which don't happen that often, but it's pretty funny when I see it like 2 or 3 times. And then last, we're gonna do the triggers. I am running Elder Breath because this thing is broken, especially in prison, especially on grade 4 turn when you get all of the bonuses and stuff. I am running 3 of the draw triggers. I don't have the other one, the effect trigger. I should get that soon. I will probably order that, but for right now, it's just 3 of the standard draw triggers. I am running 4 of the heal trigger, because, I mean, you know, it's a pretty standard heal trigger. Why not? It's good. Gets the job done. And then I am running 8 crit triggers. So I have 4 of the Cardinal trigger and then 4 of the Seraph trigger. So we're just running 8 crits because the deck does draw quite a bit. So extra defense is nice, and also having a larger chance to further increase my criticals. And that would be it for my Seraph deck profile. It only took a couple of minutes. Wasn't expecting it to take that long, but I did want to kind of explain some of the strategies and other things behind the reason why I'm choosing these cards, because I know there's other different builds out there, but I haven't exactly seen one like mine. So appreciate it if you stuck around this long. Thank you. I will be making more Vanguard content in the future. If you can, leave a like, comment. I was about to say retweet, but I'm not on Twitter with this, but it's okay. But you all have a wonderful day.